Let's move to this story now. It's a very, very sad story with allegations that not enough is being done. It's the family of murdered student Mbali Hlongwane from Katlehong. They're really frustrated because they say that nothing has been done to solve her death. A 20-year-old was stabbed allegedly by a fellow student outside a TVET college. Family and friends marched to the police station today. They wanted an update on the investigations. Our reporter Nqobile Madlala has been following that story and she joins me now. Nqobile, so I understand that this young woman, Mbali Hlongwane, was murdered last month. Why did people head to the police station today?
Well, sadly, they were really in hope of getting the right answers from the investigating officer. Look, the family says that the investigative officer has not been really transparent to them. They have not been getting the answers. They haven't been, they've been trying to call the investigative officer and they're saying that he's not even answering his calls. So the young people and the family went to the police station with the hope that they will get an answer in terms of what really occurred. Are they getting the perpetrator, because they're saying that this occurred right in front of them. In fact, some of her friends were saying that they didn't even at that time notice that this perpetrator was actually stabbing her, because they saw that there was a little tiff that was going on, and at the time they just saw that there was a little squabble and they thought, oh, okay, well, it would be done. And by the end of it, it looked like Mbali was falling and they needed to be there for her, and when they got there, she had stab wounds. The guy fled, and they're saying that all the information is with the authorities. They know who this person is. The person went to the college, so the information that's needed, including his friends, all that's needed is there, but they're not getting an idea in terms of whether or not the IO is close to resolving the case of Mbali Hlongwane. And so they just wanted a sense of closure, really. They're saying that they want to get more answers. They want to hear what's going on. Most of them are really worried. In fact, when I spoke to some of them, they were even saying that they're going as far as just they want to heal from the pain that they're going through, and the more answers that they get from the police or the interaction, that will help them through the healing. But I just want you to listen to them because I spoke to them earlier.
Honestly, I just want the guy to be punished. We already went through a lot and we've already been traumatized, and we're just trying to heal, and I think the only thing that's missing is just justice. Yeah.
Sissy, what do you think? What's missing?
We just want the guy to be found, because since the incident, we haven't heard anything about this guy, if he has been found or what. We just want him to be found.
When you think about her, do you ever miss her?
Yeah, Mbali is a person that you would miss, because she was a very bubbly person. She would talk with anyone. Regardless if she knows you or she doesn't know you, she would talk to you.
So, am I right, Nqobile? We've got a situation where a young woman is murdered by a man. There are witnesses who saw an altercation, and yet there have been no arrests, not even someone brought in for questioning. Just confirm if that is indeed correct, and what we know about what this altercation might have been about.
Well, Sally, so in the beginning it looked like there was an actual arrest, but it turned out to be an individual that had also been in a similar case. So it wasn't the actual guy that had done, that had stabbed Mbali in this case. So there was no arrest, but it had looked like that there was some form of arrest. So nobody at this point has been arrested. In fact, the police were saying that they're still investigating at this point. But the tiff, really, they say when you speak to Mbali's friends, Sally, they're saying that it looked like it was a bit of a tiff. They saw it in the group where they were basically, I mean, if you're in a school, you're doing very well in your modules. It was that tiff where you are, like that innocent tiff where in a school where you can have more marks than the other individual. So most of them looked at it like that, and they assumed that whatever was happening between Mbali and the perpetrator, it was more of that tiff that was just going to not go anywhere, and whoever gets the better marks, well, then they are the winner. But it seemed like it was something very interesting. In fact, there's a snapshot of their conversation where the perpetrator does actually, or the suspect does say that if you do, if this does happen, that you get more marks than me, then what will happen is that I will be going to jail for you, and you will probably be in a hospital. So it looked quite serious at that point, but when they saw them together, they're saying that they didn't think anything more of it, and so they didn't interfere because it looked like a squabble. But unfortunately, it ended up with Mbali being stabbed. In fact, some of her friends were even saying, Sally, that in her last in her last attempt to help, she said to them, please call the police. Please call the police. And that's why they're saying that they were walking to the police station, because they're saying that if she was alive today, she would have wanted justice for herself. And so that's what they were trying to do today.
All right. So have you spoken to the police? I mean, it sounds to me like you're saying that there's even a video clip. And I'm just trying to get my head around the fact that this happened towards the end of last month, around the 25th of October or so. No arrests.
Well, the police, Sally, are saying that there are investigations. In fact, they were saying that the IO does have leads. Look, they're saying that there is so much that's being done in the background. It may not look like it's being done at this point. So they're saying that there are investigations that are going. They're saying also that they have had like to understand where the suspect might be. There's even fears that he might have already fled the province, and they are now speaking to the other province where he most likely might be. So they are still investigating, but the issue there is that, Sally, the family feels like the IO has not been communicating. So what the police are saying now is that they're taking the case into the district level, where now they're going to look at it closely and make sure that the family is kept on the loop. I mean, it's a very difficult time. When we're speaking to the father, he even said that he's very frustrated. He's been calling the IO non-stop, and there's been no answer, no messages, nothing. So now going forward, Sally, they're saying that they will make sure that the family is kept on the loop, but they are actually following leads. Let's listen into Brigadier as she explains more.
This has been given the attention by the District Commissioner herself, Major General Sithole, and she has assured us that they will take the docket and inspect it and ensure that everything that needs to be done is done. But as and when we were speaking to the investigating officer, he says that he does have leads that he is following, and that immediately after the incident, as soon as they registered the case, they started tracing the suspect. As we know now that the suspect is no longer in Gauteng, but they're working with the province that they suspect that he fled to ensure that they are able to trace him and bring him to book.
Wow, murdered on the 25th of October. It's now the 12th of November. There were witnesses, there are leads, but no one has been arrested. Nqobile Madlala, thank you so much for that report. It's absolutely astonishing. And let's not forget that next month we'll move into our 16 days of activism against violence against women and children, and everyone will be outraged and very worried and concerned about gender-based violence. But this is how a murder, this is the level of urgency given to a murder case. Thank you.